Float. Yeah, you see the short interest on Merrill Edge says 7%. Wait, actually, let me verify something. The float. Oh no. That's correct because it says shares short compared to the shares outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
But the short float is based on the float.
Right.
Okay, so this is correct. The Discord thing is correct. So, all right. Ooh, my camera is covered. Sorry.
Oh, so maybe that's what happened. That's what's happened in the past.
Yes.
Some of the data. It might be going off shares outstanding rather than float.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So, all right. Well,
Okay.
let's get right at it. So, good morning, everyone. That's hopping on in. Hope you're ready to make some money. And good morning to everyone on YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Let's get right at it. So, Taj just brought this one up. NNDM popping on some news that they acquired a company. To be more specific, Nano Dimension acquires Micro Mechanics 3D printing leader. Small cap, this one can go on a run. It seems like it's good news, good volume coming in, so it's definitely going to be in play. It's been on a rip already, so we kind of have to wait for a bull flag setup on this one. Don't go chasing this one. Let me look at it in the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, the AMA on the 5 minutes at $8.64. So I would like a little pullback, bull flag setup, rip, and we can play it. UPS is a stock that's going to be on my A list. They did extremely well on their earnings report. Pull up a 1-year chart on the daily chart. You can see that this one just broke out, right? And UPS is looking good. So it's gapping up pretty nicely. Level 2 for UPS at this point, when you're in all-time highs, you just have to go by level 2 to see where the sellers are. It looks like you've got some big sellers in the 200 mark. So if more buying momentum kicks in on this one, you could potentially see a test at 200. It's only 9 points away for a $191 stock. Not much of a big move. The way I see it, UPS has to hold that 187 range, right where it bounced off of it at like 7 o'clock. If it can hold this, then and show some good support, then I think we can curl it around and rip to the upside. I'd be a little cautious buying it out of the gates because it is gapping up, almost 20 points. So just be patient with UPS. It is a, blue chip stock, institutional traders, pension funds, you name it, they buy this one up. So I do think that this one might be a little bit of a slow trade. I don't think it's going to move as quick as we normally like to trade with like all these other small caps. But it's a stock to keep on watch, right? Just in case if there is a good entry. So I like that. GameStop yesterday after hours ripped. Actually, yesterday it had a really good day. I mean, it opened up at what, like $150 after hours, almost hit 200. So, and it's gapping up. I know it gave it back a little bit, but the reason why it's gapping up is because GameStop closed on the offering, and traders are rewarding the company by increasing the price of the stock for an offering. So it just gives them more cash on their balance sheet so that they can work on the fundamentals of the company. And yeah, that's why the stock is gapping up. So the way I see it, if GameStop, if it can hold this like 180 range, as long as it doesn't break below then, I think the stock can rally. I would go long GameStop if I could see it reclaim like 186 range and break out of like the 188, 189, and then we can go test the after hours high, 194 to 198. So that's the way I see it. Be careful with it. GameStop is a stock, you have to give it range. If you're going to mess with options contracts, be careful with it. don't take too much size and get hurt if the trade goes against you. The nice thing about GameStop is that when it's on a tear, it can really move. So I am definitely going to be watching GameStop here. I will short GameStop if I see it fail 180 though. If it fails 180, going in for the short. I'll throw my stops. I'll give it like a 3-point range. I'll put stops at 183. So that's my game plan with GameStop. Long and short idea. Skills. I like skills. Just same thing with MVIS. There's just a lot of volatility with both of them in pre-market. Skills the last couple of days has been on a rip, just like with MVIS. So I'm always going to keep an eye on these two. On the daily chart, guys, skills looks better than MVIS. MVIS on the daily is getting way overbought. Man, we've seen this too many times this year. Think about what happened to GameStop earlier this year. Think about AMC. Think about costs. And then in February, think about the pot stocks. All of these stocks went on a freaking tear for a couple days, and then we got the pullback, right? So I'm not saying I'm going to short, but what I am saying is be cautious, right? Just be prepared in case we do get a flush. Go short, right? So, but with MVIS at the moment, it sold off, bounced off the 200 MA on the 5-minute time frame. So there is support, right? You can see on my chart here that the 200 MA on the 5-minute is acting as really good support. So if it holds this, we could get a bounce back to 28, 29. And if there is good volume, which we already see in pre-market, but if that volume continues to pick up, man, we might even see 30, 31. So if MVIS comes back down and is testing 26 and we see it starting to fail, this 26 range, and especially the pre-market low, I mean, we can go in for a short here. So just be careful if you do want to go for the short. I mean, you've got the whole Reddit community behind it, a lot of day traders, and don't think that this is just being moved by day traders. You've got some big hedge funds and a lot of big money behind it too, because they're getting behind the momentum to fuel the Reddit crowd and also the trades, right, that they get in on to take advantage of the momentum. So if I see MVIS, break out of like 27, 28, then I'll look to go long. But if it starts to fail, I would say 26, then we can look for an entry on a short. Skills or skillet, as I like to joke around. It's kind of flat at the moment. It is gapping down a little bit, but if I see it fail like $20.50, it could come down to $20, which is the 200 MA on the 5-minute time frame, and you can see that it could act as good support. Let's see how it acts there. It might bounce off of that, and if it does bounce off of that, then maybe we can get in on a good entry point for a reversal play. And I would need to see a reclaim 21 to then have confidence that it'll break out. So MVIS, skills, GameStop, Tesla is going to be my next one. So Tesla reported earnings yesterday. They beat the top line and the bottom line, but what didn't happen? They didn't provide guidance on production and deliveries for 2021. And as Taj and I we've mentioned before, going into earnings is straight up a gamble. You can have good earnings per share, you can have good revenues, but if one little piece is missing, you can have a gap down, right? So that's why you see Tesla gapping down. And so the way I see it, if Tesla has more weakness in it, if it breaks below like 715, I'll go in and get some puts on it. But if they want to buy out Tesla, I would need to see them, bring Tesla back up to like 722, 723. Then I'll have more confidence to go long and look for a breakout above 726. So let's see how Tesla plays out. One other name. Well, actually, I did UPS, MVIS, Tesla, GameStop, Skills. I'll be looking at the SPY, AMC, and one other name, DraftKings. Why? DraftKings got a big price target upgrade, $81, added to the conviction list. So if DraftKings breaks out of 61, go long. Put your stops 60-70 or 60-60 if you want, 60-50, whatever. Risk 50 cents on the trade for potential rip to the upside. So let me pass it on to Taj because I am a little bit over. So, Taj?
Yeah, so I'll pick it up with AMC since that was stock I traded a few times yesterday.
Yeah.
So one of the things we talked about on AMC yesterday was that $11 range, how big of a resistance that was. And yesterday was the day where we needed to see AMC clearly break and hold that $11 mark if we wanted to see this go on another run. And yesterday that happened. AMC not only broke through $11, it ripped up to nearly $12, especially here, going right to the close around 2 o'clock. So AMC looks like it's going on a nice run. The volume was really good yesterday. If you see here, picked up to 78 million shares. On the prior day, it did about 27 million. So you're talking 3 times as much volume coming in yesterday. So that lets me know that this breakthrough is a real one. And let's see if we can get some follow through today. There is a bit of a range here for the pre-market action. We hit a high of 11.98. It's pulling back currently to about 11.50. But if we can trade back up to around 11.80. Maybe we can look to go long, stops around 11.50 to see if we can test that $12 mark. If we are able to break above $12, I could see this hitting $14 in the next few weeks or so, if this is really going to hold. So keep an eye on that. A lot of the meme stocks were moving yesterday. GameStop was obviously one of them. KOSS was another one that caught a nice pop as well. So it does look like some of these names are coming back. So just keep an eye on it. I'll specifically be watching AMC because I really like to trade it. But GameStop is another great candidate as well. I'll also be keeping an eye on the Qs. As we know, the Qs were approaching the high yesterday, had a very strong day. If you're still holding on to the swing, such as I am, I do have my stops at 341, just in case there is a market pullback today. But if I do get poked out and it comes back up to 342, I'll just get right back in. But as of now, just as an update, I do have my stops at 341. But right now, it looks good. It's gapping up, closed yesterday at 341.63. The high was 341.92. We did trade as high as 342.40 during the pre-market session, and that did break the all-time high, which was 342.23. So today is the day to see if we have some type of follow-through. If we're able to get that huge push through that level, that 342, 343, and we can go on that multi-day run. I would personally like to see a 1 to 2 day run on the Qs before taking profits, but let's see how the day shapes out. If it really starts to struggle up here, maybe I'll take profit. If it starts, to really rip to the upside, then maybe we hold on for another day. But right now, going into the open, the Qs, we could definitely look for a long if it breaks above 342.20, 342.30, and throw our stops right here around 341.80. Some other individual names to keep an eye on. I'm going to list 2. One is Microsoft. Very similar setup as the Qs. Broke the all-time high yesterday, hit a high of 262.44. During the pre-market session, it's been a little lackluster, not a lot of volume coming in, but it did hit a high of 262.55. So if we are able to break that high of around, let's say 262.40, you could go long with stops around 262. And the good thing about Microsoft is they report earnings after the close today. So keep an eye on this. This is a stock that you might see get bought up today going into earnings. So keep an eye on it. If it really starts to break that high, I will definitely be playing Microsoft because I think this is a great candidate to break out of that high. A long consolidation here on the Bollinger Band, and you have a really good company going right into their earnings. So I think this is a candidate to get bought up going into the report. Another name, very similar, is AMD. AMD is also reporting earnings right after the close. And if you look at the chart on AMD, we referenced this stock. I mean, it feels like for the past few months how it has just been consolidating here between a range of around $85 and $74. It's been in a rut, a really good company that's really been unable to break out of that $85 range. However, yesterday was the first day that we were able to close above $85 since, I mean, when was this? 2 months ago. So AMD, we got the close. Today's going to be the day if we can have that follow through. The high of yesterday was 85.90. We did hit a pre-market high of 86.20. So if we start trading back up to, let's say 86.20, we could go long and throw our stops at 85.90. And this is another one, very similar to Microsoft, that could go on a run. Again, they have their earnings coming out right after the close. You have it breaking out of this key resistance level. If you remember back when we traded Apple, let's go Apple. When was this day? Right here on the 8th of this month, earlier this month, Apple was in a very similar place where it was stuck within a range, and then when it broke out, it really had that run. I think AMD is going to be very similar because the all-time high is $99.23. You have a lot of the other tech names hitting all-time highs, and I think AMD is eventually going to make its way up there. So keep an eye on it, especially with the earnings coming up. There was one other name. ALDX was a name that I was watching, but it's really given up most of its rally. So we're going to take that off the watch list. Oh, NEO. NEO was also another name. I know we call it the swing on NEO here, around 30, I think it was around $36 or so. The first price target was around $40, $41. The second price target was around 45. We're getting close to there. NEO has been on a very nice run. I do think we are due for some type of consolidation, maybe slight pullback on the daily chart. But this goes to show the power of the daily 200 in May. Right? You got a triple bottom down here, big push from that $34 price range, and NEO's flagging here during the pre-market session. So the way I would play NEO is I would be more inclined to take my profits very early if you do decide to play it long, because like I said, we've been on pretty much a 4-day run straight to the upside with no type of consolidation or pullback. So just be quick to take your profits if you do decide to play NEO. As of now, if NEO starts to break above 43.20, you could go long with stops around 42.90. And I would say, look to take your profits around 43.70, 43.60 or so. Be very quick to take your profits. Don't get too greedy with this play. Similar to how Alex was mentioning with NVIS. Yes, it could get another pop, but just be quick to take your profits because you're starting to get in the zone where these stocks are overbought, right? And you don't want to get too greedy with this and let it go on. Think it's going to continue to just run to the upside infinitely. Expect some type of pullback, expect some type of consolidation. Take your base hits, get some green on the board, and then just let it carry for the rest of the day. We had a really good day yesterday with a lot of these names. It was a great way to start off the Monday. But let's not get too confident, right? Let's not get overconfident. Let's not over leverage a lot of these positions. Keep it consistent, and let's see, if we can eventually turn a single into a double, and then a double into a triple, and just keep it going from there. Other than that, I'll be keeping a very, very close eye. Like I said, for the Qs, Microsoft is also going to be one. AMC and SKLZ, those are going to be the big four that I'm watching out of the gates.
Nice. Yeah, I think we got some good stocks today. So for me, my A list is going to be Skills, GameStop, MVIS. I like this NNDM, this small cap. Good. Look at the volume on this one, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pop this one on my A list. Tesla, and I always have one chart keeping an eye on the S&P and the Nasdaq, just to see kind of where the market is headed. So. That's it for our YouTube recording. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you all later with the trade of the day.